Okay, guys, you remember last time you were here? What type of book did we talk about? What genre was it?
Fairy tale.
What kind of fairy tale?
Magic.
It was a fractured fairy tale. Well, this week we're going to talk about a fantasy book, and we're going to talk about the author. Who has ever read Savvy? It won the Newbery Honor. Do we know what a Newbery Award is?
No.
For the best written children's book. And remember, I told you last year we learned about the Caldecott was for the illustrations. This one was a Newbery Honor. It's a wonderful book, and you guys will love it. There's 3 in this series. And so we're going to talk about the lady who wrote it. Her name is Ingrid Law. And there's a funny story about Ingrid Law, and we're going to talk about that. She writes juvenile literature, fantasy. She was born in New York. Who knows where New York is? She was born in New York in 1970, the same year I was born. So that makes me 20 years old, doesn't it?
Have you ever been to New York, boys and girls? Yes, awesome. Okay, go ahead.
I'm not really 20 years old. I wished I was. But she was born the same year I was in 1970. Her family moved to Colorado when she was 6 years old. What does Colorado get a lot of? Snow. Yes, very good. When she was 6 years old. She still lives in the West, but now she has a teenage daughter and an imaginary pet cat. What does that mean, imaginary? That's right. She's an imaginary pet cat and is trying her hardest to keep at least one plant alive as she works on new stories and adventures. Ingrid Law has sold shoes, worked in a bookstore, helped other people get jobs, and assembled boxes for frozen eggplant burgers.
Eggplant burgers.
Anybody ever had it?
Boys and girls, we need to study that in science class.
You don't like eggplant? Oh, you love eggplant.
Awesome.
Well, all right. She and her 12-year-old daughter live in Boulder, Colorado in a lovely old mobile home that they like to believe is a cross between a spaceship and a shoebox. They enjoy writing on its walls and painting on its ceiling and have 2 harps, a flute, and a ukulele, as well as a fondness for muffins. That sounds like a funny house to live in, doesn't it?
Yes.
Don't you think that makes the perfect author because she uses her what?
Imagination.
Who said imagination? She uses her imagination, yes. She is a New York Times best-selling author. She's the author of 3 novels for young readers, and her books have been placed on over 30 state reading lists. That means those books have been recommended for students to read, and probably some teachers require that as some required reading in the class for the summer. She's earned accolades from Publishers Weekly, Oprah's Reading List, and Al Roker's Book Club for Kids in the Smithsonian. Did I say Oprah?
Oprah is,
Al Roker?
yeah, she's a big reading advocate. She loves to push reading for children and literacy.
Absolutely. Savvy, her first novel, was named a Newbery Honor Book in 2009. When asked, what do you like best about writing for a teenage audience? The transition between childhood and adulthood can feel huge and exciting and scary and painful and lonely and embarrassing and thrilling and big and loud and crowded and unpredictable and fun. Tweens, which are what you're getting close to your teen years. Tweens and teens are knee-deep in the drama of life and have the potential to be the greatest heroes in their own stories every day.
I have some really good writers in my class, Miss Colette.
That's awesome. We may need to get them to write something about this book after they read it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's the cover, Savvy. That's the book I showed you. The Beaumonts each possess a special savvy or a supernatural talent. Grandpa can move mountains, Fish can create hurricanes, and Spark can produce electricity. Now it's Mib's turn to discover her savvy. Just 2 days before her 13th birthday, her papa is in a horrific accident. Mibs hopes and prays that her savvy will somehow save her papa. Mib concocts a plan to get to the hospital to help her father. she ends up on a wild adventure with some unlikely companions. Her unforgettable journey will force her to make sense of growing up. Y'all want to see the video about the book?
Yes, ma'am.
This is what they call a book trailer. Hold on just
Kind of like a
second.
movie trailer when you see a little clip of what the movie's
It's
going to be
tell us
about.
just a little bit about our book. Yes. There we go. Now our speakers are working.
That's like the story of the girl and the boy. Like it's the bridge to Terabithia.
Terabithia. Yeah, that's a good connection you
It
just
is.
made.
Special something that you can do better than anyone else. Mibs Beaumont's 13th birthday will not be like any other birthday, for 13 is when a Beaumont savvy strikes. With one brother who causes hurricanes and another who creates electricity, Mibs dreams her savvy will be X-ray vision or invisible wings that disappear like a flash of her brother's lightning. But when her beloved Papa is in a terrible accident, all her dreams of a powerful savvy disappear. All Mibs wants now is a savvy that will save Papa. And so begins a wild journey on a rickety bus with her siblings and the preacher's kids in tow. And as their extraordinary adventure continues, only one thing is clear. Not a soul on that bus will ever be the same. The fantastical story of the Beaumont family uncovers the bit of superhero we all have inside, and reading their tale will leave you as changed as if you just discovered your own savvy. And who's to say you won't, once you've learned how to look?
How many here wish they had a special power? What would yours be? X-ray vision. How about you? Teleportation. Oh my goodness. How about you, Malachi?
Invisible car.
Invisible car. Oh my goodness.
Teleporting.
Teleporting. One more back there, Zane.
Have like a Green Lantern ring and make stuff.
That would be awesome. I think I would want to be able to fly. Wouldn't that be cool to fly?
I would want super
Fly.
speed.
And being invisible might be fun, but it could get you in trouble. So this is what this family does. They all have special powers. So let's go on and see a little bit more about the family. This second book is Scumble. It's the second in the Savvy series. 9 years after Mib's unforgettable journey, her cousin Ledger is now turning 13. With the Beaumonts having such powerful savvy, Ledger feels like he is a dud. All he can do is make small things, what? Fall apart. His family decides that it's safe to travel to Wyoming, but soon realize just how powerful Ledger's savvy really is. And to make matters worse, he has an outside witness to his disaster. Ledger is left trying to keep this witness from turning his family into headline news and trying to scumble his savvy into control. The third installment in this series, when I made this video, it had not been released yet. It now has, and I'm going to order it for our library. It's called Switch. Gypsy Beaumont, Mib's little sister, has always been a whirly-twirly free spirit, so as her 13th birthday approaches, she hopes to get a magical ability that will let her fly or dance up to the stars. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yes.
Travel to the stars. Instead, she wakes up on her birthday with blurry vision. What does that mean, blurry vision?
When you wake up in the morning, you got like your eyeballs where you just see white stuff when you're looking around.
That's right. It's hard to see. It's kind of blurry, kind of fuzzy.
Oh.
So she wakes up with blurry vision, and she starts to see flashes of the future and past. But when Mama and Papa announce, I can't see, guys, that her very unmagical, downright mean Grandma Pat has Alzheimer's and is going to move in with them, Gypsy Savvy, along with her families, suddenly becomes its opposite. What does it mean? Like if you're happy, what's the opposite?
Sad.
If the sun's shining, what's the opposite? So their savvies suddenly become opposite. Now it's savvy mayhem as Gypsy starts freezing time, and no one could have predicted what would happen on their trip to bring Grandma Pat home. Not even Gypsy. Here's the author Ingrid Law's quote to live by. Things turn out best for people who make the best of the way things turn out.
Ooh, I
And
like
she uses
that.
that quote by John Wooden. Let's all read that together.
Things turn out best for people who make the best of the way things turn out.
What do we think that means? Things don't always turn out the way we want them to, do they?
No.
But what should we do anyway? Make the best of it. You ever heard of find the silver lining? Find the silver lining. Always make the best of it.
I like that. I would like for you to email me that so I can print it out for our class.
I'm glad we will. All right, guys. How many of you now want to read this book?
Me.
Well, Malachi, will you get the light for me, please? Okay, the first book again is called what? Savvy. The second book? Scumble. And the third one, who remembers what it was? Switch.
Y'all are good listeners.
Very good. I'm very proud of you. I'm glad that we're really getting into fantasy books. And the next time you're here, we're going to talk about mysteries. But Savvy and Scumble, who's our author? Ingrid Law. Ingrid Law. All right. Thank you guys very much. You were a very, very good audience.
Thank you, Miss Colette.
Thank you, Miss
I want
Wyckoff.
I want to read those books as well.
I know. They're wonderful.
Thank you.